be recorded there if anybody misses it. Okay, hi YouTube people. I'm doing a double recording. I've got my Instagram live here. I've got my YouTube live here in case one of them bums out, because you never fucking know. Everybody, I've also torn a ligament in my thumb. Not even, I laughed when the doctor told me, so that's why I've got this on. 8 weeks. I actually have to go get like a proper splint. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about hormone. Okay. Who of you guys has suffered from this or does suffer from this? Because I personally never have, so I kind of forget that it's a big issue, but it is a dinner. It is actually a really, really big issue, and a lot of girls struggle with hormonal acne, and I've gotten a lot of messages from girls asking me to do this Instagram live, so hence I'm doing the Instagram live, and I'm just going to pin the topic so that new people that join, hormonal acne, I'm just going to pin this so that people can see what the topic is about. How do I pin? There we go. Okay, now, this sort of hormonal acne is from hormones, right? You'll often get it in a cyclical nature, so you will get it more so at certain times of the month than other times. I'm not saying certain times as though you'll only get it at your period. I'm like, hello, it's me. But this is talking about cyclical hormonal acne, so you will only tend to get it at sometimes you less, at sometimes you go cycle than others. So this topic really affects a lot of people, and please, I would love for you to jump in, give me hearts if you're loving what I'm talking about. Please ask questions. Please comment on things. If you've got any questions, this is the best time for me to answer the questions. Please send them here rather than DM. It takes me a lot of time to reply to all of you, but I do love replying to all of you. Okay, the first thing, I'm sorry if I seem a little bit tired. I am actually quite tired. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is something called DHEA. And I've actually written down the list of things so that hopefully we can get through this snappy and I don't blab, because Monica is a blabber. The first thing I want to talk about is something called most of you are going to think testosterone is only for men. We actually have a bit of testosterone. So testosterone is what gives you your sex drive, as well as estrogen of your sex drive. So as you guys would know, at ovulation, that's when your sex drive, your libido increases the most, because you get a really big burst of estrogen, but you also get a little bit of a burst of testosterone. Testosterone goes up a little bit around ovulation, okay? So it is an important hormone for us. It gives us muscle, it helps us look toned, blah, blah, blah. But of course, too much testosterone can lead to things like PCOS, and a lot of girls do suffer from PCOS, but you don't need to be suffering that you have to deal with forever, okay? And you can put it into remission, and you can have these and as if you can. So it's a pre-hormone to testosterone, and it converts into testosterone whenever it's needed. Now, the problem is a high level of DHEA has been associated with acne in women with PCOS. So you really want to try and lower that DHEA. And the best way to do that, I'm really sorry, is to reduce stress. It's always about stress, which do so, but in order for your DHEA to go down, your cortisol needs to go down. So every time you stress, your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, that increases, right? And then as your cortisol increases, this also increases your androgen levels and male features. So typically in women with with the insulin-resistant PCOS, they will have high levels of androgens, so they will typically get some male growth patterns. That's why they'll get the acne, maybe like darker. So this is just not good for PCOS, and this increases the DHEA. So you really want to focus on doing stress reduction throughout your day. This is really reducing hormonal acne. I'm sure many of you have been asked, this is what they do, is the reason why they suppress your sebum levels, okay? So they basically, sorry guys, what happens is when you're on the pill, it suppresses your sebum levels. Now, what it does, it basically stops your body from pumping out the sebum. The sebum is your skin oils, okay? Please ask questions if you've got them, guys, as we go. When you are on the pill, it stops your body from making sebum, your oil glands, okay? So it kind of tells your body, no, thank you, we don't want any more of that. But the problem is there's also another part of your body, the sebum production. As it production, even though the pill's got this like plug on it, and as your body's ramping it up behind the scenes, as soon as you go off the pill, your body is like free and then it explodes everywhere, and really bad hormonal acne coming off the pill. Who has suffered from getting acne when they go off the pill? Has anybody suffered from that? Pop it in the comments below. Let me know so I can talk about that a little bit. So that is in a nutshell what it does. In fact, the pill actually makes your skin like a 6-year-old, which it's kind of freaky. It puts your hormones into the state of a 6-year-old. That's fucking weird, actually, is what that is. So when you come off the pill and you get, lots of love hearts. Okay, guys. So when you come off the pill and you get the hormonal acne, this is why it's happening. And this is why the worst thing that you can do for it is to go back onto the pill. That is the worst thing. Or what's even worse, and them giving you some other ridiculous drugs which clog up your liver, which makes it all about. So when you come off the pill and you get acne, you need to allow your body to work through the process. It's not going to be like that forever, but you've got to remember that if you've been on the pill for like 10 years or something like that, let's go 5 years. If you've been on the pill for 5 years, for 5 years, you've had a plug on your skin, right? But your body behind the scenes has been making all of this sebum, and you can plug off, okay? So you can actually, when you come off the pill, it's quite bad for about 6 months. And then after off, because that is when it takes about 6 months for the sebum production to slow down. What was it actually? Yeah, it takes 6 months for your sebum plugs to expel the sebum. So just give yourself a 6-month mark and do not go on the pill to help the problem, and don't go on any other hormonal acne drugs. I'm going to tell you what to do instead. So let's quickly talk about liver while we're on the topic of that. So obviously the pill really, really clogs your liver. What it does is it creates a lot of estrogen in your body. Even if it's drugs clog up your liver, and it inhibits your liver to detoxify the stuff from your system. Now, the problem with that is that when your liver can't detoxify the stuff, it eventually comes out of your skin. The skin is the largest organ, right? But it's also the last organ to show the signs. So if you, for example, don't have good hair, skin, and nails, you will have absolutely shocking insides. So, but if you've got really, really healthy hair and skills, that you've got, I'm so sorry. If you have really good hair, skin, and nails, then it's a really, really good sign that your insides are really, really healthy, okay? So when your liver is really clogged, it is going to come out of your skin. Now, this is why often if you go and get some herbs, this has happened to me before. So like after my ski accident and whatever, and like I'm still on a pile of herbs now to like try and get my liver to like work. These herbs start to get a couple of pimples, and it's because my liver's actually finally able to detoxify. Does that make sense? So whilst you might think so there's kind of this catch-22 is detoxifying. If you're taking a whole pile of herbs or supplements, it can come out of your skin as a fast way to expel it. But additionally, if you have a really, really clogged liver, your body is going to be pushing the toxins out through your skin. Is this making sense to everybody? Is this clear? Have a break. Please throw in any questions that you've got below. and we shall keep going. Okay, so some things, drugs, awesome. Thanks, Hannah. Any drug you're on, any endocrine disrupting things. So things like hand lotion. The skin is the largest organ, but the thing that puts something on your skin, it bypasses your liver and goes straight into your bloodstream. When you eat something, your liver detoxifies it. So it's actually a hell of a lot worse to be putting stuff on your skin than putting it in your mouth. Like if you want to put something toxic anywhere, put it in your mouth rather than your skin, because with your skin, it doesn't even get the chance to be detoxified from your liver, okay? But when you put all of these things in your system, when you're eating junk food, when you're eating pesticides, when you're drinking alcohol, when you're drinking a lot of coffee, all this sort of stuff. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying when you have a lot of it, your liver is really overloaded, okay? But stress is another one. Stress also really overloads your liver. Again, what happens is that when your liver is so overloaded, it kind of just goes, bah, and it pushes out of your skin. If any of you have ever gotten real, it would have been about November, sometime around there, I was getting horrendous rashes under my armpits. One, that's stress, and it's two, it's your liver trying to push the toxins out of your lymph nodes ASAP, basically. Okay. The implant, same thing, still full of fake hormones, which is loading up your liver. So it's still this stuff that I'm talking about with the pill. It relates the same to the implant, unfortunately. Yeah. Or if you want to just have a quick solution that's only an hour of your life, book in for a session with me. I can talk you through all the contraception options. I can tell you about the fertility awareness method so that you understand when you're ovulating. And then when you understand you're ovulating, you know something or when to not have sex. So feel free to book in with me. Just send me a DM and I can book you in for this next week. This week's I'm fully flat chat, but next week I've got a couple of availabilities. So that is kind of a little bit of a nutshell on liver. The next time I'm going to talk about, some really good ways to help your body detoxify, so help your liver detoxify, is dandelion tea. That's a really good one. So you can buy dandelion tea and you kind of brew it like coffee, and then you can put some coconut milk in there. I need to make my elixir. I'll do that sometime soon. I'll put that in it. Liver is, the liver is really good for your liver, actually. Like chicken liver. But what I was actually going to say was turmeric. So, oh my God, I'm going to go on again. Oh, I'm going to bed after this. Okay. High-dose curcumin tablets are really, really good for your liver. They help your liver detoxify. They stimulate glutathione, and glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. I don't get paid for one a day. I don't get paid for those things or anything. I just use them, and people DM me all the time being like, what product do you use? Insane. So I actually just made a shop page, but I don't get paid for them. That would be great if I did, but I don't. So, but please just go on the shop page and all the stuff that I recommended is there. So I would really recommend getting some high dose turmeric tablets. They also help reduce inflammation, and turmeric helps lower cortisol. So we've got all of these links here, right? Inflammation is going to cause, it's going to cause acne, right? Inflammation is not good for your body. The liver being detoxify your liver. Stress is going to cause acne because it upregulates your cortisol, which upregulates your androgens, which upregulates your DHEA, which gives you the hormonal acne. And turmeric helps to lower cortisol. So another winner for turmeric. It's also good for your skin, good for it is good for your skin. It's good for your gut. It's good for everything, okay? So that is liver. What are some other really good things for liver? All vegetables. Vegetables are fantastic for the bone broth. Bone broth is an amazing glutathione in it, and glutathione is the body's master detox you want to be loading up on right now. All right, let's quickly talk about casein. So casein, A1 casein, is found in cow's milk and dairy. It's what most people can't digest, causes the inflammation in our bodies. That's why you'll often see sometimes A2 milk they've taken the A1 casein out of that, but that's processed and whatever. You can eat whatever you want. So to be also cutting out A1 casein, okay? And this doesn't have to be forever, but it's really good to have this trial period, because once you have a trial period, you can actually know what's working for you and what's not working for you, because everybody is different, but a lot of women, like 70 to 80%, that their hormonal acne disappears. Because there's this thing called the IGF-1 hormone, and that is upregulated when you have A1 casein, and when that is upregulated, that can cause acne as well. Studies have been done to show that, okay? So you want to be making sure that you're getting rid of that A1 casein. It's really inflammatory to your body. So things like cheese, cow's milk, cream. Some people can tolerate because levels of lactose, especially hard cheeses. So if you need to have cheese because you're going to die without it, then have some hard cheese. But I would really recommend that you go for a trial period of 1 month of having absolutely no dairy, seeing how you go, then introduce back in just hard cheese, because after a flare up again, then you know you're better off without it. But if you're able to tolerate the hard cheese, then that's fantastic, because now you can have cheese, which is awesome. For the A1 casein. So if you have hormonal acne and you haven't already quit dairy, that is like the number one thing you need to do. You need to get rid of dairy and see how you go. Another thing that you really need to get rid of is sugar. All sugar, including too much fructose. So when I say sugar, I'm also including coconut sugar, agave syrup, honey, maple syrup. All of those, it's still sugar. So you want to be getting rid of all of them and seeing how you go as well. When you have sugar, it also, so when you quit sugar, it also reduces a hormone called the insulin growth factor, the IGF before, that's increased when you have the cow's dairy. You don't want that insulin growth factor, okay? Because that insulin growth factor is what pushes up your sebum production, also upregulates your keratin, which is in your skin, and this IGF-1 hormone also upregulates inflammation, okay? So you need to be getting off the sugar, including too much fruit, and you need to be gluten if you're not already on the no gluten bandwagon, just most of the time. And like I say to all of my clients, guys, this isn't something that you have to do for the rest of your life. This is about you having control over figuring out what the root problem is. So by cutting these things out for 1 month, seeing how you go, and then reassessing, it gives you the power to be like, okay, now I know what the problem is. And it means that it's 1 month of your life that you can't have some of these foods, but you get to have an abundance of other amazing foods. But you figure out what the problem is, and you don't have to be on drugs. You don't have to hurting your body anymore. So it's putting the power back in your hands. So if you haven't gotten off gluten, I would also really highly recommend that. No, we actually don't have the ability to digest gluten proteins. So if you are eating gluten and you think, I don't have a symptom from, like, I'm not gluten intolerant, I don't get bloated, your body still can't break it down. So everybody cannot do gluten, and nobody should be eating gluten because we physically cannot break it down. So please be aware of that, if you've tried getting off the sugar and you need to get rid of that 100%, okay? Put them on there ASAP. I'll put it on my Zinc on shop page. I will do that tomorrow if I supplement. So meat is the best sources of zinc. It's the most bioavailable. Supplements, your body can't absorb a lot of the supplement, so it's your money. If you can be eating more things like lamb, is really, really high in zinc. If you can be eating a lot more lamb, chicken, beef, all that sort of stuff with the skin on, the bone in, you're going to be getting a lot more zinc. It actually reduces keratin, which helps then reduce your hormonal acne. Zinc also helps keep your pores open, which means they're not getting clogged so easily. and it reduces inflammation, and it reduces androgens, and it kills bacteria. This, which is all really important in helping you get rid of your hormonal acne. You obviously don't want to be having bad bacteria in your body or in your skin. That's not going to help the situation. You don't want inflammation, as I've already said. Inflammation is going to clog your liver, and then a clogged liver and inflammation is not going to help your hormonal acne. And it's your PCOS. This is really, really important for you. You need to be making sure that you are getting enough zinc in your diet. So you need to be having more lamb and or taking a zinc supplement as well. Okay. Any plant sources of zinc, George? Let me know if you're thinking of plant. High veggies in zinc. There's no veg. So I'm actually I'm talking to Liv the other night and her brother. I'm actually going to film an why I'm anti-vegan YouTube video. Not because I hate vegans or have anything against them. I actually just want to explain a lot of this stuff because I am constantly getting hate mail from people that are like, you shouldn't be eating meat, like blah, blah, all this crap. I get so much hate. It's fine. I don't really care. But I just, so I'm actually going to be doing a bit of a series on why I'm anti-vegan. So if you guys have any questions, please shoot them through to me before I film that. But just to answer your question quickly, George, there is no veg from animals. It's like vitamin A. So go into it, not translate. I can't think of the word. You know what I'm talking about. Not physically of the vegetables to get enough zinc that I'm talking about. The one thing I will say is that pumpkin seeds, activated pumpkin seeds, are quite high in zinc. So you want to make sure they're activated, because when they're not activated, they've got the lectins and the phytic acid in them, which basically strips your body of nutrients in order for your body to break them down. So whilst you think that you're having zinc, your body is literally being stripped out of its nutrients in order to get the zinc from the pumpkin seed. You don't want to be doing that. It's a source of zinc, but again, there is nothing that's going to beat animal sources of zinc. It's very bioavailable. Our bodies know how to use it. It's in its whole form, and it's in a high quantity. So if you're a vegetarian or anything, I'd be taking a zinc supplement. If you have hormonal acne, I'd definitely be taking a zinc supplement and seeing how that goes. I hope that answered your question, George. And yeah, and if you, obviously, with all of this, guys, this is a very general approach. George, I don't know your full backstory, what other stuff that you're dealing with, so I can't give you really specific answers. But this is where my strategy sessions are so helpful to clients. They get history, and then I can actually be like, okay, this is exactly the problem, rather than like, this could be maybe the problem. I hope that makes okay, a couple more things. There is a herb called Berberine, and it is a very, very strong herb. So take it with caution, but it's like a natural antibiotic. So when you go to the doctor with hormonal acne and they give you antibiotics, and I might clear it up for a little bit, but you literally like, and it reduces inflammation, and it reduces the IGF-1 hormone, which is the insulin growth factor. All that, like, you don't want those things. You don't want inflammation. You do not want the insulin growth factor, and you do not want a lot of bacteria in your skin, like bad bacteria. And the berberine is going to help kill that. Okay. No problem, George. Thanks for being cool about that. Okay, so that's a really good herb that you can also be taking. Berberine, Berberine, Berberine. I've talked quickly about this before. If you are any of you on the pill, let's do that first. Are any of you on the pill or on hormonal birth control? Because if you are, this is going to reduce inflammation, natural antibiotic, Berberine, Berberine. If any of you guys are on, actually, I'm going to say this anyway because people watch this after than they do now. If you are on the pill, thinking about coming off the pill, or on any of your hormonal birth control, if you had bad acne beforehand, it's very likely, extraordinarily likely, that it's going to be worse when you come off. if not the same. Please flow with that, because as I said at the beginning, I explained, if you haven't listened to the beginning bit, I explained why this is the case. But it's really important to note that if you come to somebody like me or somebody else that understands this sort of stuff and usually address these acne symptoms and other health symptoms that you had before you went on the pill, if you address them before you come off the pill, it is going to make your transition so much better. It's going to reduce the chances of you having a lot of hormonal acne, and it's going to just help reduce inflammation, up your nutrient stores, balance things out a little bit more. So when you come off it's not as bad as what it could be. So if you know anybody that's coming off hormonal acne or acne again, please pass all this information onto them, or put them in contact with me so we can help them, because so many girls come off it, get the acne, and then go back on because of it's obviously shocking to have it, and I totally get that, but they're not being told how they can prevent it. The last two things I'm going to say is that if you haven't already addressed digestive issues, this is really, really important. Your gut health is so important. If your gut, it's going to be showing up in your skin. Remember that our body works all as one. Okay? It's not period or just about your hair. It's about everything as one. Okay? If your gut's not working, it's going to throw the rest of the things out, okay? Not only is it going to make you feel unhappy and crappy and your hormones aren't going to be good, but it's also going to put more stress on your body, which is going to upregulate all the things I was talking about before. It's going to upregulate your cortisol. It's going to upregulate your androgens. It's going to upregulate your DHEA, getting some of the ATP's gut right powder. And that's also on my bugs. It's going to kill all the bad bugs so that you're starting off on a really even playing field. Important for when you're coming off birth control, as that the pill is very disruptive to your gut and it does affect your gut microbiome. So you don't obviously want to be messing that up more. You want to be improving your gut microbiome. And then last but not least, actually with the cortisol, if your gut isn't good, your body is not going to be able to respond as well to cortisol. It's also going to mean that every time that you do have a release of cortisol, it's going to affect also than if you had a stronger, more robust gut, because cortisol does affect your gut lining. It absolutely does. So I'm just going to wrap this up really quickly and go through the things I talked about. I've actually kept this at 30 minutes, which is fucking amazing because I never keep shit this short. So let's quickly run through. High cortisol equals high inflammation. It lowers your insulin sensitivity because you want to be insulin sensitive. You don't want to be insulin resistant. Having more insulin because your blood sugar levels. It lowers your liver function. Cortisol clogs your liver. If your liver is clogged, you've got an inability to detoxify things, which means it comes out in your skin, okay? Having a clogged liver is also more stress on your body, so you're in this vicious circle. Increased cortisol, clogged liver equals increased cortisol. If your DHEA, which is the pre-hormone to testosterone, less, so you don't want to be having that high levels of cortisol. So when you come time that you've been on the pill will finally come out. It's going to take about 6 months since coming off the pill for acne to settle. The best things if you figured out all those other things I just mentioned. Cut out casein, so cut out cow's dairy. Cut it out for a month and see how you go. Quit sugar to reduce the hormone called the insulin growth factor hormone, because it increases sebum, increases keratin, and increases inflammation. So no cow's dairy in order to lower that. You want to increase your zinc intake, which reduces keratin and it keeps your pores open. It reduces inflammation, lowers your androgens, and it's great for the liver, reduces inflammation, kills bacteria, helps reduce IGF-1, all that good stuff. You want to also be addressing you had before the pill and digestive problems. Does anybody have any quick questions? I will wait for 1 minute because they often take a long time for the questions to come through. Does anybody have any quick questions? With time to get back to DMs because style for me to go back to them. So ladies, for anyone that's new here on my Instagram, one-on-one, oh, what just happened? Oh my God. I think my phone just died. That better have saved my Instagram live. Thank God I recorded it on here. Oh my God. Okay. This is just stressing me out. I'm going to go. If you want to book in for a session with me, please do so. I've got some availability for next week and the week after. This week I'm fully booked. This really annoys me. I don't know how I did let this happen. Okay. Goodbye.